Welcome everyone to 9.17.1. I'm here on the test server, and for some reason they haven't named the update 9.18. Like, why? Why? Anywho, I'm going to try to get through these updates as quickly as I can. I went and picked out a bunch of the big things that people actually care about a whole lot, and I'm going to show you exactly what they have. First off, you can see if you hover over top of the garage vehicle icons here, you can see any data about Mark of Excellence, Mastery Badge, and your win rate, things like that, which is really awesome. They've also, in that menu, added the option to switch between the double and single carousels very quickly, which is quite handy, I guess, if I ever want to change it. Also, another really handy new feature they added in the garage, you can now hover over these stats and it'll tell you what pieces of equipment changed your stats and by how much, which is really awesome. I'm really happy to see that. They also added what they call dynamic indicators. So these indicators are exactly the same as the previous ones, but this time you can have an option checked where the indicator will be bigger if you receive more damage from a hit. They also implemented a feature that allows you to see which type of shell you were recently shot by, which is handy. They also went ahead and reworked how stronghold battles work. Now, you can't lose industrial resources as easy, people can attack you whenever they want, and there's a little bit less cheaty stuff going on between some of the clans that know each other. Yes, this means that you can upgrade your stronghold to whatever level you want without risk of being attacked, have all your resources gone, or having buildings destroyed, and all that kind of stuff. Basically, they changed the basic modes around, so now your opponents are selected randomly as well. You can't choose who you want to attack. Also, just in case they were your favorite buildings, the War Department and Quartermaster unit are now removed from the game. If you had certain reserves that can no longer be made, then they're going to be removed from you, and you're going to receive Industrial Resource as compensation. And if your clan happens to use them, you can now use 2 reserves at the same time. I'd love to tell you more details about how strongholds work now, but the things they changed don't necessarily all make sense to me because my clan doesn't really do much more than just your tier 6 skirmishes. Yet. A whole bunch of things with vehicles changed. Now, for example, there's about 20 more HD vehicles, including this one, the Object 263, right here. I'll make a whole other video about all those new HD tanks, link in the video description. So I guess now's a good time to mention that a bunch of the British mediums got themselves a buff, speed boost, and a bunch of the German mediums also got themselves a bit of a buff as well. Also, if you look over here, there is new German heavy tanks of tier 8 and 9. Also, the mouse is no longer after the VK4502B. Interesting. Let's take a closer look at these tanks, and I do invite you to take a quick look at these stats. Pause the video if you have to as I scroll through these, because very interesting. This thing plays much like a mouse, 200mm of hull armor, 220 of turret armor. That could be very tough except for the massive thing on top. This thing also reminds me of an elephant for some reason. Also, it has a 490 alpha damage gun, so be afraid, be very afraid. The Mouse Chen at tier 9 also is a little bit scary. Again, a 490 damage gun, and the mouse actually got a bit of an armor buff, which is awesome, and it's also more accurate now, and its reload time was decreased, so buffs all around for the mouse. Hooray! Which is great because I'm going to have it researched before this update comes out. Also, this thing, the Panzerkampf 7, this is basically the tier 10 Clan Wars reward tank that you may have seen around a little bit if you play tier 10s, very rarely. Difference is, this one apparently has a different gun. This has 560 average damage per shot versus the Clan Wars 1, which I think is 750, if I'm not mistaken. So apparently this thing got nerfed a little bit, the Grill 15. Also, the T110E5 received a little bit from the nerf hammer. It's got a little bit less armor somewhere around the road wheel, like it can be tracked easier or something, I don't understand it. And also that hatch is now a little bit weaker, so we're going back to the old days with the T110E5. No more carrying the game with everybody shooting at your weak spot without anyone actually hurting your weak spot. Oh well. I should also mention that a bunch of premium tanks got themselves a small buff again. Also, the T95's top speed, instead of 13 kilometers per hour, is now 20 kilometers per hour. The T28 went from 18 to 22 kilometers per hour, and the T28 prototype went from 18 to 28 kilometers per hour top speed. That's a pretty significant buff. Now, I wonder how this thing's engine is going to perform, given how much it weighs. Is it going to be able to reach its top speed? Both the Type 4 and the Type 5 Heavy, the Japanese Tier 9 and 10 heavy tanks, have gotten themselves a bit of a buff. Apparently their armor is buffed. It doesn't say how much on the website, so I have no idea. Also, they both managed to get themselves a nice new gun, and it's a derp gun. And don't worry, it's not going to hurt much. It only does 1100 damage per shot. Yeah. Yeah. Run. At least it's only 75 penetration. Another small but rather neat feature they added into the game, now in Compare, you can go ahead and click on Configure, and what that allows you to do is compare vehicles counting crew skills, modules, equipment, consumables, even ammo type in your Compare. Oh, and another little quick change that I really wish they had had a long time ago. In Settings, there's now the option to switch your mode to windowed borderless, which sounds super helpful, especially if you have multiple screens, stream or record, and stuff like that. There's also 6 new HD mini-maps coming in: the Training Area, Overlord, Empire's Border, Sacred Valley, Stalingrad, and Fiery Salient. Thanks for watching, and as I mentioned before, there'll be a link in the video description to a video of mine with all the new HD tank models shown in all their glory, as well as a link to all the 9.17.1 changes and in detail as text on the World of Tanks website. See you later.